A blessed day, learners! Today is another exciting and fun-filled learning experience here in the world of science. So, what are you waiting for? Come on, let's explore the amazing world of science. Before we start our discussion, let us have a quick review of your past lesson. I will ask you 3 questions. You have 5 seconds to comment on your answer. Are you ready? Let us start. This is number 1. Which of the following phase changes refers to sublimation? Is it A, gas to solid, B, gas to liquid, C, solid to liquid, or D, solid to gas? The timer starts now. Time is up. The correct answer is D, solid to gas. Number 2. When water evaporates, it changes into a blank. Is it A, solid, B, liquid, C, mixture, or D, gas? You have 5 seconds again to comment on your answer. The timer starts now. Time is up. The correct answer is D, gas. Number 3. The blank is an example of chemical change. Is it A, freezing of water, B, burning of paper, C, salting of food, or D, melting of chocolate? You have 5 seconds again to comment on your answer. The timer starts now. Time is up, and the correct answer is B, burning of paper. Congratulations to those who got the correct answer. Now, let us have a learning objectives for this topic. The first objective is differentiate atoms from molecules. Next is discuss the historical background of atom and its subatomic particles. And lastly, determine the number of electrons, protons, and neutrons in an atom. Now, let's have a game. The title of our game is Decoding. I want you to decode the following number into a letter and form a term or word out of it. Are you ready? Let us start. Here is the code. You have 15 seconds to decode this code. And the timer starts now. Time is up. The correct answer is atom and molecules. Congratulations if you got the correct answer. Now, our topic for this session is all about atom and molecules. Alright, I know you are familiar with atom and molecules. But first, let us discuss what is atom. atom is a single entity or tiny particle of a chemical element which may or may not exist independently. Another, it is made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Another, atom cannot be separated by chemical reactions. The example of atom are oxygen, which has a symbol of capital O, hydrogen, which has a symbol of capital H, carbon, which has a symbol of capital C, argon, which has a symbol of A, capital A, small r, and a lot. Now, let us discuss the molecules. Molecules refers to the set of atoms held together by bond, indicating the smallest unit of a compound, made of two or more atoms. Another, it is made up of multiple atoms bonded together. Molecules also can be separated by chemical reactions. And the example are sodium chloride, which has a chemical symbol or chemical formula of NaCl, carbon dioxide or CO2, and water, H2O, and many more. Now, I know you have the idea about atom and molecules. So, let us have a short activity. Okay, the title of our activity is Atom versus Molecules. I want you to choose the best description about atoms and molecules. Choices and similarities are given for you. Write your answers in the Venn diagram. Here is the Venn diagram. As you can see, the similarities of atoms and molecules is they are quantitatively assessed with a measure that employs electron densities within respective atomic basins. Now, you're going to choose the right description for atoms and for molecules. Now, here are the choices. Letter A, exists in the free state. Letter B, not visible through naked eyes but can be seen with the help of magnifying microscope. Letter C, possess nuclear bond as it entails electrostatic attraction between the nucleus and electron. Letter D, they consist of one or more electrons orbiting a nucleus, which in turn consists of protons and neutrons. And letter E, it contains such as water or carbon dioxide, consists of two or more atoms bonded together. Now, comment the specific letter for the atom, the description for the atom, and for the molecules. You have 15 seconds to comment your answer. And the timer starts now. Time is up. Now, let us see the correct answer. For molecules, the letter that has a corresponding description is A, B, and E. And for the atoms, the correct answer is B, C, and D. Now, congratulations if you got all the correct answers. Alright, let us proceed to the history of atom. I know most of you are very interested with the history about atom. Alright, let us discuss about the history of atom. Okay, there are different scientists that discovered the atom. The first one is this person, which is John Dalton. According to John Dalton was an English chemist. His idea formed the atomic theory of matter. According to him, all elements are composed or made up of atoms. It is impossible to divide or destroy an atom. Another, all atoms of the same elements are alike. One atom of oxygen is like another atom of oxygen. Another, atoms of different elements are different. An atom of oxygen is different from an atom of hydrogen. Another, he said that atoms of different elements combine to form a compound. These atoms have to be in definite whole number ratios. Another, one of the example are water is a compound made up of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. A ratio of 2:1. 3 atoms of hydrogen and 2 atoms of oxygen cannot combine to make water. Now, another scientist that gave the idea about atom is this. None other than Joseph John Thomson. According to him, Joseph Thomson was an English scientist. He discovered the electrons when he was experimenting with gas discharge tubes. He noticed a movement in a tube. Another, he called the movement cathode rays. The rays move from the negative end of the tube to the positive end. He realized that the rays were made of negatively charged particles called electrons. He also proposed a model known the plum pudding model that shows how electrons were distributed into a field of positively charged sphere. Next person is Ernest Rutherford. Ernest Rutherford conducted a famous experiment called the gold foil experiment. He used a thin sheet of gold foil. He also used a special equipment to shoot alpha particles or the positively charged particles at the gold foil. Most particles passed straight through the foil like the foil was not there. Another, some particles went straight back or were deflected when went in another direction as if they had eat something. The experiment shows, according to him, atoms are made up of small positive nucleus. Positive nucleus repels, pushes away positive alpha particles. Atoms are mostly empty space. He also proposed the nuclear model of the atom, which describes the atom as consisting of a tiny dense, positively charged core called nucleus. Negatively charged electrons orbit the nucleus at a great distance. Most of the atom is empty space. And here is the model of Ernest Rutherford. He called it as Rutherford's model of atom. According to him, the central part of the nucleus, the central part of the atom is what we call the nucleus. The nucleus contains proton and neutron, and it gives the mass of an atom. The other particles are orbiting around the nucleus, and it is called the electrons. Next person is Niels Bohr. According to him, he was led to believe that electrons in an atom exist in specific regions at a various distance from the nucleus. He visualized the electrons as rotating in orbits around the nucleus, like planets rotating around the sun. He also theorized that electrons had several possible orbits at different distances from the nucleus, and that an electron had to be in one specific orbit or the energy level or another, but this could not exist between orbits. In other words, the energy of the electron is said to be quantized. Now, here is the model of Niels Bohr. We call it as the Bohr's atomic model. As you can see, the electrons orbiting around the nucleus, and electrons has a specific orbit just like the planets in the solar system. Next person, the last but not the least, is none other than James Chadwick. According to him, neutrons are uncharged particles or neutral particles found in the atom's nucleus. They were discovered by James Chadwick in 1932. Another, neutrons are considered to be neutrally stable and remain unchanged in the nucleus of an atom. Now, let us test your idea if you learned something in our discussion. Alright, what you're going to do is to identify the following statements if it is referring to the idea of different scientists that discovered atom. Comment JD if the idea came from John Dalton, JJ for Joseph John Thomson, ER for Ernest Rutherford, NB for Niels Bohr, and JC for James Chadwick. You have 10 seconds to comment on your answer. Are you ready? Let us start. Number 1. He was led to believe that electrons in an atom exist in specific regions at a various distance from the nucleus. You have 10 seconds to comment on your answer, and the timer starts now. Time is up. The correct answer is NB or Niels Bohr. Number 2. Neutrons are uncharged particles or neutral particles found in the atom's nucleus. You have 10 seconds again to comment on your answer. The timer starts now. Time is up. The correct answer is JC or James Chadwick. Number 3. All elements are composed or made up of atoms. It is impossible to divide or destroy an atom. You have 10 seconds again to comment on your answer. The timer starts now. Time is up. The correct answer is J.D. or John Dalton. Number 4. He conducted a famous experiment called the gold foil experiment. The timer starts now. Time is up. The correct answer is ER or Ernest Rutherford. Alright learners, congratulations if you got all the correct answers. Alright. Let us discuss the atomic structure of an atom. Each atom has a certain number of protons, electrons, and neutrons. But no matter how many particles are present in an atom, the number of electrons will usually be the same with the number of protons. Another, if the number of protons and electrons are the same, the atom is considered electrically neutral. It means that the net charge of the atom is zero. The atom is also considered stable. Now, I have a question for you. How do you determine the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons, mass number, and atomic number in an atom? Alright, let us find out how to get those numbers in an atom. Okay, take a look at this example. The example is carbon or carbon atom. Now, the number at the upper left of this example is what we call the mass number or the atomic mass. Now, to get the atomic mass, the formula is proton plus neutron. Alright, the number at the below left side, at the left side below is what we call the atomic number. The atomic number is always equal to the number of proton of an atom. And lastly, to get the number of neutron of an atom, the formula is atomic mass minus or subtracted to number of proton or atomic number. Alright class, did you get how to get the number of proton, neutron, electron, atomic mass, and atomic number? Oh, I know you get all the idea. Now, take a look at this example. Okay, the mass number of Na or sodium is 23. To get that, you need to add proton and neutron to get the mass number, just like on this example. Okay, the atomic number can be found at the bottom left of the atomic or the symbol of an element or an atom. Okay, did you get now how to determine the number of mass, atomic number, proton, electron, and neutron? Oh, I know you do. Now, let us test your idea by doing this simple activity. Okay, I want you to determine the number of protons, electrons, and neutrons in an atom by commenting the correct number of electrons, protons, and neutrons in an atom. You have 20 seconds to comment on your answer. Now, this is the simple activity. Now, there are 4 missing number on this given item. You have 20 seconds to comment on your answer, and the timer starts now. Alright learners, time is up. Let us now show the correct answer. Number 1, the correct answer is 35 for the mass number. The atomic number of Cl or chlorine is 17, while the proton is 17 and the neutron is 18. Okay, did you get all the correct answer? Well, congratulations if you got all the correct answer. Alright, learners, always remember this. Atom is a single entity or tiny particle of a chemical element which may or may not exist independently, while molecules refers to the set of atoms held together by bond, indicating the smallest unit of a compound, made up of two or more atoms. There are 5 scientists that gave an idea about atom, namely John Dalton, Joseph John Thomson, Ernest Rutherford, Niels Bohr, and James Chadwick. And lastly, atoms have a subatomic particles, and these are proton, neutron, and electron. Each subatomic particles has specific charge, which is proton positive, neutron neutral, and electron negative. Alright learners, thank you very much for watching our session today. I hope you learned and enjoyed this session. Again, this is Mr. Rogelio Rivera, your science teacher. Take care and God bless.